Okay, folks, episode 117. Solid 9 out of 10. I don't know if this is a good idea because I feel like Leslie is going to burn through that money faster than she receives it. But yeah, this is a pretty solid episode, and I really think this is setting up what some fans have been demanding for quite a while. We got the Duprees, but we need like a rival family of sorts to really feel like, there's some pressure put on them to maintain their, position within the community. And it seems like we're kind of getting that. So we start off at the diner where Leslie and Eva, are discussing matters surrounding the fortune. And she warns her mom not to, spend all the money before you get it, kind of thing. Leslie calls them royalty, and they can discuss having proper tea because it's just funny since Leslie tells Eva about how me and Anita were going at it, and she slapped the taste out of my mouth, and then Eva's like, "You deserved it, didn't you?" So that's when a lawyer shows up and then hands Leslie her first check, which is for $1 million. And she's thinking about spin, spin, spin. And Eva rightfully says, well, you know the saying about how the rich get richer, or the rich stay rich? It's because they conserve their money. Why not, I don't know, restrain yourself, no big moves? And she's like, oh no, I'm about to have fun for a change. No policing. So she dashes off to deposit that check into her bank account. So we go over to the benefactor of Leslie's newfound fortune, and they're both outside just thinking about, okay, so Nicole and Kat have been in the living room for about an hour, and Vernon's sure that Kat's going to be okay. But keep in mind, this is because they're discussing the upcoming divorce. Now, when it comes to the Leslie visit that just happened, they agree to tell Nicole about that together. So it's like Nicole's giving her daughter some bad news, and now they have to relay some bad news of their own to their own daughter, Nicole. Now, Anita doesn't like becoming violent, but Vernon feels like she deserved it. And yet again, this further expresses like, yep, that's where Dani and Nicole get it from. Now, they discuss about, okay, if Leslie was causing this much chaos without money, what is she going to do now that she has some? Like, that's a very, very valid concern. So we go over to Kat, who's just upset. Also, she looked adorable with the tie. I don't know why, but the tie just kind of set off her fit. She looked adorable. I loved it. So we're over in the living room, and Kat is just, taken completely off guard about the divorce. She's upset, and she's understanding about it not being her mom's fault. And she thinks about how growing up, the kids always wanted to spend time at the Richardson house because they took care of everybody and they were so in love. And that's honestly another reason why Nicole feels some kind of way, because she was kind of the envy of all the other women. The fact that she had such a loving and devoted husband, but that got shattered. So, man. And now this is making Kat question if love is real, and Nicole says, yes, it is real. It's just that ours was real until, well, yeah. And from there, Kat blames Leslie and Eva, but Nicole mentions Leslie and her evil spawn. And that's when Nicole says that she's losing anger for Eva, realizing that Leslie tainted that girl. I don't know. I mean, understandable, but she still played a role in this. I mean, I can't let that go. It's just like, if you got like a thug who works under, the leader of a group, a gang or whatever, like if that person robs me on the street, but then I learn, well, yeah, this person, when they were a young kid, they got caught up in the wrong crowd, and then this person, put them on the street to, commit crimes to earn money and whatnot. Yeah, I'll be rightfully pissed off at the dude who orchestrated this, but at the same time, the person who pulled the trigger, or the one who put a weapon in front of me until I gave them my money, yeah, I want to have anger for them, regardless of their past. I don't care. So yeah, that's when Kat mentions how she wishes that Leslie will eventually get what's coming to her. I honestly, I feel like a downfall will come. It's really annoying fans that you have these characters who have committed so many crimes and immoral things, and yet and this is an age-old story of how, man, I'm just trying to live my life right day to day. You know, I go to work, I put in my hours, I try to take care of myself, I stretch myself thin trying to, take care of everybody else around me. But the people who wrong me, or the people who, take all these shortcuts in life, what's the point of doing things the right way when there are always people who take shortcuts, and they either get to my level with far less work and dedication, or sometimes they excel way further in life than me. It's like I have to work 5 times as hard to barely get like 20% of what this person gets, and they just either sleep around, they commit crimes, or they sell drugs, or they just magically inherit something. It sucks, but eventually their downfall will come. And I feel like while Leslie's feeling at the very top is like Humpty Dumpty, oh, she's going to get all the way up to this high tower, this high wall, but that downfall is going to be even greater. And it sucks because you look at what she did, especially to Laura. But yeah, I think her downfall, you know what? I say build her up. Build her up. So when she eventually falls, crashes, and burns, it's going to be so delicious. So Kat's heading out of the house, and that's when Anita stops her just to talk for a bit. And she mentions how, you know what, whenever you need to call somebody, just give me a call, because she understands that her granddaughter's upset. Now, from there, that's when Anita goes to tell Nicole about Leslie's visit. But before she can get into it, Bill pops up. Nicole is like, what is he doing here? And yet again, Bill's like, well, whenever the Duprees need fixing, I'm here. It's the age-old story. And it's funny because I thought about what Nicole said the last time she barged over to Bill and Haley saying, I'm the fixer now. Well, Nicole, based on this current situation, are you sure you don't want Bill's help? So, the reason Bill came over is because the Duprees asked for his assistance in the matter of Leslie. Is there any way this blind trust can be revoked? He says, nope, it is ironclad. And at this point, Leslie's going to keep getting checks until she eventually runs out of money. And that's when Vernon wants to know how to strip her of it, but not her life. And it's funny because of the fact that when Bill mentions, the only ways this can stop is if she runs out of money or she runs out of life. And Nicole's like, can we pick? Oh, Nicole. No, Nicole. No, I mean, you were against lethal force when it came to the matter of like Kenneth, or was that Vernon? But in this situation now, all of a sudden, see, these people pick and choose when they're upset. It makes them human, but I'm just saying. But also, it just makes them, the hypocritical moments, even more frustrating. But either way, at this point, you might want, I don't know, if Leslie is just going to pop up and whatnot, you might want to double security or something. And I mean, if you need, I can take care of it, but all I want is a retainer of respect. And Vernon won't bow down, but I gave you respect by inviting you over. Hey, I still had to ring the doorbell, and that's not respect. And that's when Bill feels like, Vernon understands how much he needed a father figure in his life. Now, here's the thing, though. On the one hand, I'm with that. Like, look, if you're going to constantly call me up when you find yourself in a bind, the least you can do is give me respect. Now, when it comes to Haley, no. I don't have to respect her. She slept with you, aka she's one of the main reasons why our daughter was hurt and got a divorce from you. I'm never going to respect that little, child. That makes sense. I mean, sure, but Bill can't make his terms because, but still, it's like, no, I mean, look, Bill, yeah, you're right. Yeah, at least you're providing a service worthy of our respect. Haley is not. So it is what it is. Now, Um, Bill pretty much lays it out saying that, hey, these are the terms, take it or leave it. Vernon looks over at Anita, and Anita's like, mm-hmm. So then he shakes his hands, and then Bill leaves. And then Nicole is giddy over Anita slapping Leslie, which is funny because this woman's been slapped, she's been choked. At this point, I feel like Nicole would have shoved her off the hospital roof if she had known her true intentions. If Nicole knew Leslie in terms of who she really was, rather than Shelly, she would have pushed her off that roof. I guarantee it. Man. All right. So from there, that's when Anita mentions how Leslie blames her for her mom, taking her life. But rightfully, Nicole shoots it down. Like, you know what? There's no way that would have happened. It's like, I love how fans have rallied against the storyline somewhat in terms of, okay, this needs to stop, because Anita was not solely responsible for that. All the other group members put in their vote. It wasn't a situation where it was all on Anita that did this. The other girls not leaving the group and whatnot, it's just no. And Anita already called him out for it. So yeah, either way, it's like Anita's attempt to make peace with the past and make things right ended up blowing up in their faces. Now we go over to the country club, and Ted is talking with Andre about the situation involving Ashley catching him and Dani kissing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Ashley's done with him. And that's when Dani pops up, and she goes in on Ted in terms of, Andre, why are you taking advice from a man who had an affair and a secret baby? And that's when Ted just kind of brushes her off and tells Andre, call me later. And Dani, scum. And Andre's like, do you always have to be like this? Like, what's going on? So she tells him, like, Uncle can't keep it in his pants. This is your love guru. Oh, actually, let me run that back. So, Uncle can't keep it in your pants is your love guru. And she wants Andre to come over to her place because she feels like, well, why can't you talk to me about your situation? I mean, honestly, it's really kind of awkward. I mean, why would I talk to you about the woman that I gave you up for? I mean, sure, let's not forget Dani confides in Andre about Bill, so there's that. So Dani makes it clear it's not for sex, it's just to talk. So eventually they do go back over to her place, and he admits how Ashley saw them, misinterpreted the situation, and is done with him. And Dani's like, we didn't even sleep together. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't really understand why she blew up the way she did, because it's like, Ashley and I never even got off the ground. But c'est la vie, that's life. It is what it is. Now, they get a bit, the chemistry is still there. So before they're about to kiss, Dani's like, nope, we're not doing it again. We're friends, which honestly is kind of a slap in the face to in Andre's case, because you think about how when he tried to kiss Ashley the first time, and she's like, whoa, we're buds. So, Andre, man, just there is nothing holding you here. Just leave, man. There are more women out there. Just go on. Now, the thing is, if you want to take our current status of friends back to friends with benefits, you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to wine and dine me the way you did the nurse. And Andre's like, I can do that, but wouldn't it be danger of romancing? And Dani's like, I think I can handle it. So he goes in for a kiss again, but yet again, she stops him. No. So I remember making this argument because people are like, I can't believe it. Andre turned his entire apartment into Paris for this vanilla nurse, but he didn't never do the same for Dani. And the thing is, Dani never really allowed him to, because he was pretty much a booty call. Not going out in public, no PDA, no nothing. So it's not like Andre didn't want to do those things for Dani. It's just that he really couldn't, because even if he did, she would instantly remind him, we can't be anything more than what we are now. But basically, Ashley was showing him, I want to be a one woman kind of man. So yeah, that's my take on it. Now, to round things out, we're going to talk about Leslie here. So she stops by Ted's hotel and basically is like, "Oh, how you like me now? I got this money." And the thing is, she gloats about how Barbara being her mom and Anita Dupree is her benefactor. Now, Ted can pretty much already sniff out what's going on here, and that's the fact that for whatever reason, Leslie wants to get close to the Duprees. Like, I mean, I can give you the names of who you might want to rub elbows with, but wealth is nuanced. So you can't buy subtlety with all the money in the world, which is so Leslie. That is so true. Now, she does give back the $50,000 that he loaned her, but he refuses it. I don't know why. I would have taken it back because it was a loan. And she crumbles up a few dollars and then throws it at him on the ground. So, I mean, it's like, "Oh, I bet I'm richer than you now." And it's like, it really doesn't matter. So, I don't know. What's going on here? Now, Leslie just thinks that this is the equivalent of, a guy going to the gym, getting muscles, and then assuming that women will fall all over him. Well, no, a guy gets rejected by someone, and then it's like, okay, let me do better for myself. Let me start working out. Let me save up my bread, get a new place, that kind of thing. And then you instantly think that the level up should gain you access to someone who rejected you before. And sadly, that's not always how it works, because maybe that person doesn't like your personality. It wasn't your looks or your money. It's just like they weren't vibing with you. So Leslie just feels like this money should gain her instant access. Now, to some things, yeah, it should, but in other cases, no, it won't. A lot of fans are already speculating whether or not Ted might give her another shot, considering the fact that, well, he's getting a divorce, but hopefully he doesn't. So from there, we go back to the diner where Kat shows up and finds Eva there and confronts her about, "Thanks to you and your evil mom, my parents are getting a divorce." And Eva's talking about how she's brokenhearted about it due to the fact that her parents look like they were happily ever after goals, which I find is complete bullshit. Because why, if you look towards, okay, you infiltrated the family with evil intent, but the more you got to know Ted, the more you got to know Nicole, you basically realize they aren't the monsters that your mom painted them out to be. And yet, you still, despite having so countless chances to try to alleviate the bomb before it went off, whether it be talk to your dad one-on-one or something like that, it's just one of those situations where, don't you look this woman in the face, don't you look your sister in the face and tell her, "I'm brokenhearted too." That is bull crap, and you know it. So from there, Eva even goes so far as to throw Tomas and her virginity in her face, and I'm like, dang, that's some cold work. So she even goes so far as to touch Kat's arm and then leaves, and I'm like, I don't believe you, because it's almost like there's always this air of Eva being genuine, but she's still gonna like stab you at the same time. It's like those people who give you sideways compliments. It's kind of like that. So I don't know. I just feel like Kat had a legitimate gripe against Eva, yet Eva pretended to be sympathetic, yet still had to take a jab at her. So from there, she goes over to her dad's hotel and notices the money. He's like, "My mom was here, wasn't she?" Yep. So Eva's sorry to hear about the upcoming divorce, and I wonder, with this whole money situation, will my mom finally move on from you? And that's a interesting topic of discussion to have. Now, from there, we end off the review with Vanessa meeting with Leslie at the club, because Leslie wants to hire Vanessa as a realtor, and I got money to spend, so Vanessa promises to find something that suits her, and she goes so far as to say, "I want to live behind the gates." Yikes. Now, you know what would have been wild? With the upcoming divorce, now, we know that initially, after the anniversary party or fiasco, Nicole asked Vanessa, "Hey, can you help me sell my house?" And Vanessa's like, "Look, give it a year. I don't want you to make a rash decision, but if you feel the same way you do now after a year, we'll sell it." But wouldn't it have been something if Nicole put her house up for sale, Leslie comes into this money, and then she bought the house? That would be insane work. That would be insane work. All right, so with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.